back, and this is the overdue update for my Renaissance Fair costume. So the Utah Renaissance Fair was amazing. It has happened. It has been many months since it happened, but I am still very excited to share my costume updates and my thoughts on the two Renaissance events that I attended. So first, a costume update. I was able to finish my costume in time. In my last video, I detailed everything that I had already created for my Beetle Fairy costume and explained that I still had a few more things to make, specifically a set of wings. So I made my elytra set of wings, which was supposed to represent that hard shell of a beetle, and those turned out great. And then I still needed to make the translucent wings that went underneath that, because that's what beetles have, and I wanted to try and create that. Long story short, I was able to craft these wings in a week, which was really great, and this is how they turned out. Originally, I wanted them to look something like this, but I really liked the final product of both sets of wings together, so the elytra and the translucent wings. While at the actual Ren Fair, I ran into a couple of costume mishaps. First, at some point in the transportation of my costume, the pinchers for my headpiece, one of them fell off. But thankfully, my boyfriend pulled from his costume some string and just tied it back onto the headband, so that did not hinder the costume, and honestly, it looked kind of cool with the string holding it together. Second, I fully lost one of my translucent wings while at the Ren Fair. I'm pretty sure that it snapped off in a gust of wind. It was a little windy that day, but it really sucked because I hadn't taken any pictures of my costume at the fair yet before I realized that the wing was missing. So unfortunately, I only have 2 videos of the full costume from before I actually went to the fair, so like the morning of when I was getting ready. But overall, the costume looked great and worked really well. I got lots of compliments on the theme and the making of it. The cape turned out to be really nice because it was a very hot day, so it provided some sun protection without overheating me. The elytra did become too heavy, but they were easy to separate, and so I just put them in the back of my car at some point in the Renaissance Fair, and then it was a lot easier to walk around without them. In fact, the way I attached my wings to my cape is I created leather straps that I sewed onto the back, and I then created loops for my wings so that I could just slide them onto the straps and snap them into place. And that actually worked out pretty well. It gave a great visual effect and provided some comfortability to the costume. I think if it hadn't been so hot, I probably could have worn both wings the whole time. So despite the wardrobe malfunctions, the final product was amazing and I had a great time at the fair. So I also wanted to add a short section about my 2 experiences at these 2 different events. So in my first video, I talked about the first Renaissance event that I went to, and then the purpose for my second costume was this second Renaissance Fair. I liked both. I think it was interesting to compare the 2 events and figure out what I like about fairs in general, especially if I want to go visit more in the future. So the first one I went to was back in May, and that was the Utah Ren Fest. This was 40 minutes outside of Salt Lake and ran for a couple of weekends in a row. It was a smaller venue, but still had plenty of vendors, food options, activities, shows. In particular, what I really liked about this event was the activities. Since everything was close together, I got to see all of the options for entertainment, choose what I wanted to see the most without feeling like I totally missed out on something. This event also had a beer garden, which was really nice and had really good drink options. The second event I went to was the Utah Renaissance Fair. This was a little over an hour outside of Salt Lake and only open for one weekend. It was a much larger venue, which was really cool because it had a pond, a pavilion area, and a great arena for jousting. There were a lot more events and activities at this fair, and overall, I think that was a great thing, but it did feel like there was not enough time to see everything that you would like before running out of energy. This event was more family oriented and didn't serve alcohol at all. So I think for next year, which is currently this year because the video is so overdue, I would honestly check out both events. They were great in their own ways, but I think what made each event so fun was the people. From the other attendees to the entertainers and staff, everyone was very kind and respectful and clearly having fun. Just really good energy all around. So yeah, that is it for this year's Renaissance Fair video. Hopefully I'll be making other costumes and videos for this year. This project really got me into crafting, so I wouldn't be surprised if there are a couple more sewing videos or costume videos coming up again. Thank you so much. Bye.